Keith. How are you?
Pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Andrew, and this is episode 203 of Uncensored. I'm here with the talented Marisa, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for inviting me. I am one of your fans, and I think you are doing a great job, and you have an awesome mission, encouraging people to persist and persevere and in things that they like, but even if they have limitations or problems for doing that, if people persevere as you have, they will get it. And that's the message you are sending to everybody. And that's why I admire you, and I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Now, with that being said, it's a half hour, 45 minutes every time. You have as much time as you like. And starting off, it's uncensored, so you can say anything you like. You have freedom to do whatever you want, to express yourself. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, first of all, I am not talented. I am just a person who inherited my son's mission. And my son's mission was similar to yours. He has limitations, but they were physical limitations. And one of the problems was pain. He had to overcome pain to do everything he had to do. He also had to overcome shyness and embarrassment because his medical condition was a genetic mutation called McCune-Albright. So when he went out and faced people on the street, on a reunion, or in a cinema, because he loved films, people looked at him not very nice way, you know. And so he could overcome that because he always felt he had courage and a strong will and a strong spirit, and he wanted to inspire other people who would be in a similar condition. So that's why I say his mission is similar to yours. So I am not talented. I am just a strong old lady. I am 71. I am very updated because my son and I lived together and we worked together, and he taught me the little I know about computers and marketing and internet. He taught me all that, and so I was his partner at work. And it has been very hard for me to go on after he passed away in December 2008. And sometimes I am shy and embarrassed too, because my limitation is old age. And some people discriminate that too. It's not only a medical condition, it's not only a problem of brain speed, no, it's old age is also discriminated. And young people look at me, and most of them, they only see a senior citizen. But I think I should also spread my mission, and let everybody know that it's not only the physical appearance, but it's what we have inside what counts, you know? And so, well, I have spoken too much. You tell me how do you want to...
No, it's fun. It's basically, this is your time after all. It's whatever you want to do.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you. Maybe the connection.
No, it's basically, I told you what the show was about, and this is your opportunity to talk about whatever you want. This is your time.
Well, yes, I want to share with everybody in what consists my work. Okay, I have tried to work on my own as well as I used to do that when my son was alive. And that's another thing people have to, I'm not going to answer, I'm sorry. People have to overcome too. And that is sadness or depression.
Yes.
Okay? So, I'm so sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Fine. Anything can happen in life.
Yeah, that's right. And so, oh my goodness, I'm going to unplug the phone if you... Okay, it's done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, it makes it more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is that everybody has something to overcome in life. It might be a medical condition, it might be physical appearance, it might be old age, and it might be also depression and sadness. And I have had to overcome depression and sadness because for me it was very hard to lose my son. Parents shouldn't go through that, you know. Usually people has to bury their parents.
Yeah.
But to bury your son is a traumatic thing, and I had to overcome that too. And things that my son taught me helped me to do that. For example, in his website, his name is Mauricio Saravia. Mauricio, I think everybody knows how to write down. Saravia is with V like in Victor, okay? And if you look for his website online, you will find a section in it called quotes. And I remember a quote that is something that he used to say, and he even said that in interviews. Some people asked him, don't you feel depression? How can you deal with that? And his answer was, well, depression is a luxury that I cannot afford. I don't know if you understand the meaning. So he meant that he couldn't afford depression because when you are depressed, you cannot do anything. And he had to go on doing things for several reasons. One of them is we worked together, or we didn't eat or pay the rent, you know. And the other thing is that he always felt he had that mission and he wanted to go on inspiring other people. And so he couldn't afford the luxury of being depressed.
Right.
So whenever he had an invitation for a film festival, for a music show, because our life was always focused on art. And by the way, I think art is something that can encourage people with limitations to do something useful, to paint or to draw, to make music, to write. And when you write, you communicate what is inside you. And it's a very good way to inspire people too. What do you think?
No, absolutely. You shouldn't, I sometimes have depression, but you shouldn't, set limits for yourself. I'll give you a perfect example. I came up with 2 quotes. And the 2 quotes I came up with, is the leash scenario and the glass ceiling. So the leash is someone's holding the leash, and you're going to go, and you gotta go, and you gotta go, and then you gotta stop. I don't know why it's echoing. I apologize.
Your connection, I think it's bad. Try to go on speaking. I couldn't hear the last part because of the connection.
Yeah, I don't know why it's echoing.
You say somebody is holding your wish.
It's the wish, and it's basically you're going, and you're gonna say, okay, we gave you all this freedom to do whatever you want. Now let's make sure you don't hang yourself with it. And
yes.
That's because that's the wish scenario. They're going to, what it basically means is we're going to see what you're going to do with the lease, all that freedom, make sure you don't hang yourself with it, and see if you're capable of all that freedom. That's basically what it means. I'm still working on it too. But
well, we all are, Keith. We all are. I haven't obtained what I wish. My son departed, and he was just getting a glimpse of how much he had influenced some people, but he left. Now I go on with his mission, and I still feel that I haven't obtained my wish completely. I haven't fulfilled what I plan to do, and I keep on trying, and that's all about it, to keep on trying and to keep on wishing and making plans, no matter what. And I think this is what I want to transmit to people. Never give up, never quit, go on. And even although you keep on wishing things that you couldn't get, your path, your way, trying to obtain that is also nice and enjoyable because you feel you're doing something useful, So it's not only obtaining your wish, it's the way you take, the path you walk to obtain that is enjoyable and it should make you feel good,
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you ever, you're gonna need a quote. I was gonna say, "What's the glass ceiling?" And by going back to what you said, never give up. That's my catchphrase. Originally it was to Keith Andrew Network, cause we care. And it's like, okay, well, that's okay. Come up with something better. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch my breath. And I came up with the Keith Andrew Network, never give up, and prove people wrong no matter what.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And enjoy the path to obtain that because this is very important. And so we talked about physical limitations, we talked about some brain limitations, could be neurological, and also emotional limitations. Sometimes there is nothing wrong in our body or in our brain, but emotions emotions can stop us from doing something good. We talked about depression, and you said something that sometimes we get angry. That's frustration. It's frustration because we want to obtain that, and on the way we realize it's not so easy, but we keep on going. And frustration is one of the things we have to overcome too, But it's good. You see, I am 71, I keep on going. And learning new things in computers, which is something that is very frustrating for me.
Hey, overall, it's just a number. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Imagine that when I was a kid, not even batteries were invented. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, wrapping up the talk show, was there any funny stories you would like to share? Or anything you want to say to your fans and listeners? Any words of wisdom? We're wrapping up.
You want to know something funny in my story? Well, this is when my son and I were working together. In the United States, it's not very well seen that a man in his 30s is living with his mother. And people didn't understand, couldn't figure out that he had problems in the daily tasks, and I had to be there to help him.
Right.
Okay? So that's why we live together. And we work together in everything, in his website, in an art magazine that we started in Denver in 2001 called artistinterviews.com. and we were interviewing artists, and always in a positive way, new upcoming artists, and we wanted to encourage them to succeed. Well, my son asked me, when we went together to events, he said, "Don't say you are my mother. Say you are my publicist and marketing manager," okay? Because he was an artist. So many times I accompanied him to events, and he introduced me, or I introduced myself as his publicist. And for us, that was funny, you know? And but we also had to overcome our pronunciation, because we are Latinos, and so English is our second language. But I always thought, okay, if somebody criticizes my accent, I dare him to speak Spanish. So you always have to find the way to get courage and do what you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're wrapping up. Are you? I don't like how it's echoing in the background. I apologize, but it's Skype, so the Skype get-together was the bad.
Yes.
But are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, any social media so that your fans can follow you?
Yes, I am in Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, but in Facebook, for my English-speaking friends, I opened a Facebook page with my pen name to write in artist interviews. That is Marisa Darnel, Darnel. But anyway, if you go to my son's website, official MauricioSarabia.com, so it's www.mauriciosaravia.com. That's the website. There is a small form at the end of every page, and you can fill it trying to connect me, in order to connect me. And I always answer all the messages that come to me through that form. Okay? So, yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up the talk show segment, I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show. It was a real honor and privilege.
It was an honor for me, Keith. I admire what you are doing, and I support you. I will always support you and encourage you to go on, because what you are doing is very important for many people. So thank you for inviting me.